Let's ride! Good evening, one. Good evening, all, and welcome to Grid Vision. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for Top Split coverage. Here we are, Grid Vision, covering the live Top Split from iRacing here on the here from virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's going to be a lovely night for racing. Las Vegas is a lovely track, and I've got some lovely co-hosts up here, including a lovely producer. It's me, Jolo, up in the booth with Sheldon Atkins, joined by Keegan Sabilo this week up here in the booth, with Austin Derbyshire down in the truck as usual, and the four of us this week. The Grid Vision fellas are going to be bringing you the best in iRacing coverage. Sheldon, you pumped for a little more Las Vegas, buddy? We just covered this. Let's go around again. How about it?
Oh, yeah, Las Vegas originally started its life off as a flat D-shaped cookie-cutter oval. Somewhere around, I think, 2005, they reconfigured the place, added some progressive banking, and here we are 20-plus years later with a very well-weathered and multi-groove facility that puts on some great racing action. Keegan, tell me, what do you think about the place yourself?
Yeah, Vegas is definitely a difficult racetrack. It seems pretty simple, but we're going to see some great racing action tonight. Going to be a lot of tire fall off and a lot of moving around, so it should be a fun event tonight.
You love to see it. We really do. And yet, tire fall off, that's going to be a big part of what we saw here at Las Vegas is strategy playing into things as the Google satellite camera brings us down. Google Earth satellite camera. He shows us a little bit of the overview of this beautiful track. It's surrounded by desert here. And boy, oh boy, did it get hot on the track the other night, but let's talk a little bit about who we think is going to actually win it all here. We've got quite a few racers out on the track, so let's just take a moment here up in the booth. We'll lock in our picks, and we will see who we think is going to take it away and win it all. We got a full field of 37 cars here, so there could be this could go a couple of ways, I think, as things go. Let's see. Who do you think? Let's start with you, Sheldon. Who do we have? We got Darby locked in first. Let's see who's Darby's picks are. Who do you have to pick it? All right. To win it all, you've got Malik Ray. You've got Tommy Gossett as the one to watch, and underdog Yuma Yao. Yeah, let's go ahead and let us know who you got, Keegan.
Yeah, so tonight I think for the main event winner, my first pick is going to be Johnny Dressler. Raced against him on Wednesday night, had a lot of speed before some misfortune ended up hurting his ultimate race finish. I also think Nick Vroman tonight is going to be one that's going to be very fast. I think Nick's a very strong competitor everywhere we go. Very solid at every racetrack that we run at. And I'm going to go, even though he's not normally an underdog, always up front, I'm going to go Roger Pierce tonight. I think Roger Pierce ran great on the Thursday event yesterday. He's always up front at mile and a half as well, and he'll be a threat.
And
all right,
for me personally, that number one pick for me tonight. Always fun to see him out here on the circuit. Always fun to see him in the booth, especially when we interview him. I gotta go with Nicholas Roman. Feel like he's always got something magic here at Las Vegas. One to watch though, and also a very strong competitor. I mean, how can you go wrong with the Pro Series guy? I feel like Malik Ray. Anytime you put your eyes on him, he's doing something crazy in the field. Always fun to keep your eye on. For the underdog, it's hard to call him an underdog, but one of Ryko's star drivers, I gotta go with Dylan Basin. That Ford machine has been hot all season. About you, Joe? I feel like
I threw things a little bit in a wilder direction. I went with some names that I recognized mostly. First things first, Joseph Causey. I said he could take it all the way. I just love that 88 car, and I'm always rooting for it to go as far as possible. And then for the one to watch, I looked at Johnny Baldrige, and I looked at that 26 car, and I've mentioned him a couple of times during these races. He's made his way up, and it could happen, but finally, one to watch, the underdog, Maggie McGuire. Hasn't been a race that I've called this top split that Maggie hasn't been in, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if she can push her way up the field a little bit.
There's a lot of great picks there. I'm ready to get this show on the road. What about you, Joe?
I'm pumped, man. It's going to be a good time going around. We got the grid ready. Let's go ahead and break down who's going to go. I'll take the top 10. I'll pass it to you, Sheldon, and then Keegan, you can take it home. So first things first, Roger Pierce. Pole position, how about that? That's a familiar name and a familiar face. Sitting out there in the front, looking good with a 28.828. Nolan Hodgson in second. Sean Kaltenbeck in third with Dylan Pettis in fourth. Daniel Nanny in fifth with Timothy Rainey Lewis in sixth. Paul Hill in seventh with Justin Campbell in eighth. Johnny Baldrige in ninth and Dylan Basin in 10th. Over to you, Sheldon.
Running off the grid, in the last place is going to be the 17 machine of Joe Zensky with Ricky Heinen up top in 35. 13th going to be Brenson Hunt with Zach Range in 14th. 15th place, the machine of Johnny Dressler with my pick, Nicholas Roman, starting off 16th. First car without a Q lap. 17th place going to Jacob Herberts with Tommy Gossett in 18th. Yuma Yao in 19th. And rounding out the top 20 is going to be Junsa Lim. Keegan.
Rolling off in the 21st position for this event tonight, we will have Matthew J. O'Brien. Next to him will be Jose Salas Jr. Charles Wimbley will be next to the Coke Series driver himself, Malik Ray. Behind them, we will have James Bomar and James Holzer. In 27th, we'll have Maggie McGuire. In 28th will be Sean Anderson. In 29th, it will be James Houghton. And 30th, Channing Bellew. In 31st, will be Nick Olson next to Colby Wells. 33rd and 34th will be Robert Miller and Joseph Causey. 35th will be Raul Saraiva. And 36th, Paul Bergoli. And rounding out the field in P37 tonight, J.R. Borborana.
All right. Well, there's your grid, folks. Let's see who you've got for the picks tonight. If you're over on Twitch watching us here, it's nice to have you. Let's get some predictions up in the Twitch chat. As we get there we go. Everyone's getting off and getting off the line and pulling off into traffic. We're gonna get this race started very soon.
Oh, Darby, please put the camera on Jose Salas Jr. right now. The paint scheme just about sent me to the floor. It's Big Chungus.
Oh my goodness, the big boy, the big boy himself going around, Big Chungus, in the 75 car.
Look,
that's impressive.
That's honestly, I think that's better than Corey LaJoie's space car he had at Daytona in 2021. That's a beautiful piece of machinery. Oh god, there's nipples. We're getting demonetized here tonight.
Oh no, Chungus has caught us. All right, lights are off. You know what that means? It means we're going to be getting things started here, heading over to the restart zone, or to get the green flag going. It's not a restart yet. It's the start zone this time. Looking forward to it, folks. Go ahead and get ready, get pumped, get excited here. We've got 134 coming around to Las Vegas, everybody, here on Grid Vision tonight. There's the green flag. We are go, go, go on Grid Vision.
Oh, they're wrecking already. Car around here in the tri-oval. Massive crash coming into 1 and 2.
Not pretty. Not a pretty start to this, my boys.
98 machine of Brenson Hunt said that he wasn't able to get the car into gear. And heavy contact from behind. It's just enough to ship him around. Luckily, nobody else gets caught in it. Pretty lazy slide. No incident there, though. Just a little shove off the nose. See what happens here.
Overhead.
Yeah, that's a heart-dropping moment right there when you go to click the thing into gear and it does not go and everybody's behind you. One tag there to the right rear tire. Possibly a little bit of toe link damage, but no real physical damage. He should be all right.
He's the right.
And this is a perfect time right now for us to do some keys to the race also. So you know what? Let's have a guest. The guest in the booth, let's have him do the keys to the race here. So Keegan, why don't you tell us a little bit about some advice on how to go around Las Vegas?
Yeah, for sure. This week, from what I've seen from my personal races, our first key is going to be find the clean air. This racetrack is multi-groove racetrack, but we're going to be searching around to try and find the best lane, and once we find that preferred lane, everybody's going to try and get up there quickly. So trying to get some clean air on your nose to help the car rotate will be key tonight. Discipline is the second big key of the race. Tires have been falling off an incredible amount here this week, no matter what lane you run in. It's been really tough on the bottom, on the top, so it's going to be key that you're very disciplined with your inputs, disciplined with the throttle, and you keep the tires on it, especially as we head into some long runs here later on into the night. And another big thing that's kind of been unusual for what we've seen in the NASCAR iRacing Series so far this year is the wind has been very severe, especially in the last two events for the week. We've seen winds upward of 20 miles per hour. And that is normally at one end of the racetrack, and it has changed the way the car handled for everybody. So it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers are going to deal with that tonight to be able to make the car work and hopefully keep the car clean, keep the tires on it, and keep it rolling to the finish.
That's right. Mother Nature herself is throwing a wrench into the works here and is going to make things just that much more difficult for all of these drivers here. Out in front, Roger Pierce, Kaltenbeck, and Hodgson are all still in the 1, 2, 3 spots. Now let's see. We got one more lap at least here until we go green. Everyone's getting set back up again.
Yeah,
have you ever had that? Now you guys have driven more often than me. Have either of you ever had that missed shifts restart here?
Oh, yeah. It's happened to me quite a few times, especially back in the days of the H-pattern shifter for the Cup Series. You know, you got to grab a gear, and sometimes you're just misaligned, get through the box, and, you know, third gear ends up being second gear, and then it becomes oops, all neutrals really quick as you blow the engine out of the car in the process. And by that point, just about everybody behind you's hit you. So it's a rough way to get things going. And I haven't had the problem so much with sequential, but with the old H-pattern shifters, it could get dodgy sometimes if you're just imprecise with your inputs.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give credit to all those drivers right there, because that was not an optimal situation, but that could have been a lot worse. I think we've seen a lot of cosmetic damage. Some guys will get back in the field and keep on rolling. But when you miss that shift, it's an easy thing to do, and you kind of not panic, but it happens so fast that you don't really know what to do, and it catches you off guard, and the next thing you know, you're around. So great work by everybody there to keep their cars clean and to keep rolling, because that could certainly have taken out over 10 cars, but we still got a good, decent field here rolling, and everybody should be able to recover and be back in the race tonight.
That's right. And here we go. We're going to get this restart going. It's almost like a start again here. We're going to try one more time to get things kicked off here. A lap 4 out of 134 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. NiS top split coverage. There goes the pace car. It's Roger Pierce. It's Sean Kaltenbeck looking for that restart zone. There goes the flag, and we are green yet again.
You came so close to saying Sean Conklin there. I heard it, buddy.
Yeah, almost. Sean Kaltenbeck.
Oh, big swing wide up there a little bit further in the pack, but Roger Pierce showing dominance early, gets down through 1 and 2, grabbing the bottom lane here, trying to hold off Nolan Hodgson down the back straightaway. Remember, new face there for Team Ryko, though, sitting there in second place with Hodgson, his first season on the team. You know, spent last year running the CFM stuff, and now moving over here under Ken's shop and put together a pretty good start already, sitting in P2. See Kaltenbeck hounding, though, coming into 1 and 2 here. And a lot of side-by-side action further in the pack. Most of these guys opted for the bottom, though.
It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here, right? Because this goes back to the discipline factor. It's early on in the run.
Oh, one around.
You were saying, Keegan, it's early on in the run. Here we go with yet another yellow. Unfortunately, it's going to bring the momentum of this early run to a halt yet again. We're only on lap 7 right now of 134, and it's definitely been a tough start here at Las Vegas. I almost said Las Vegas, which sounds like a Star Wars place.
You see what happens here. James Bomar trying to ride the middle, gets down, pinches a little bit on the 17 of Holzer. Now, Holzer's in a really bad aero position. You can see it there. Get another peek at it. But you're going to see he's got a car right on his back bumper, and it's just throwing him loose all the way through 1 and 2. And car slides up the hill a little bit, grabs the left rear quarter panel of the 20 machine, and that's just what ended up happening. See, did you see that car was just never settled at any point in the corner there?
No, it wasn't settled at all, man. He was moving around so much.
And the aero loose has been really bad this week. You know, we've been lucky that we haven't seen a whole lot of it. But when I was testing for NiS Wednesday, the hour before, it felt like every time somebody got to my rear bumper when I was solo, it looped me right around before I could even bat an eye.
Yeah, aero has been the name of the game here at Las Vegas. And that lift, we saw it a little bit the other night. You just get any amount of air underneath the back fender of this car, and it never settles, especially if you drive that into a corner that close. Las Vegas just seems to exacerbate it with how much wind is going on here, with how much aerodynamics are playing into things here. It's been a really it's been just an exciting start to the race. Like these guys have been having to be on their toes more often than I think they're used to when it comes to the start of a race here, partly because of the wind and partly because of just the conditions of the track.
Yeah, it really comes down to, you know, those wide diameter corners too, you know, especially at the mile and a halves, you know, here, Kansas, you know, wherever you go, where you're in the corner for a long time and you're using a decent amount of throttle to try and get the car up off the straightaway. As soon as you get somebody to that back bumper, you know, the car's already on the edge of being on that right rear tire. They get to the spoiler, they pull that little bit of downforce that's left on the car off the back, and it just pretty much throws all the weight to that right rear tire, and it just yanks you around. And there's nothing you can do about it. You lift, you get run over. You keep your foot in it, you're going to be sideways and you're going to get run over. It's just the situation that we had to deal with right now with this next-gen car. It's going to be really bad next week at Darlington and 1 and 2 as well.
Yeah. Watching here. Going to cross the line in a second. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I want to point that out for a second. How is Roger in chat and leading the race at the same time? How many arms do you have grafted onto that torso?
One thing I can confirm is both Roger and Justin Levine are probably the two most distracted drivers on the service. Levine will send you TikToks down the back straightaway leading at Daytona, and Roger spends the entire time in chat talking to us while he's driving, and somehow both of them put together really good performances. Roger had a grind to get in here today. Picked up 200 I rating running trucks this afternoon because it's not been a great slide for him in the I rating, but back up to 5,200. So a lot of personal gain for the 27 machine this week.
That was definitely worth it, him getting in there and doing some races today, because he's showing how strong his car and the Ryko Performance setup is this week, and we'll see if he can be able to hang on, because he was really, really fast yesterday afternoon in the Thursday race, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him continue to control this field early on.
Yeah. Very good point. Very good point. It's the right spot to be if you're Roger Pierce, and let's see if he can keep holding on to that spot. Right now, hasn't been too hard. I mean, he's only had to worry about staying ahead for less than 10 laps here still, but that could change very quick here as the pace car is going to dive off, and that's going to leave Roger Pierce and Nolan Hodgson out in front right now. Hodgson and Pierce at the line. Pierce with the jump, and we are green yet again.
Everybody getting through the gears here nice and clean, down into 1 and 2. Roger Pierce charging, leading the field in, side by side behind him. Bit of a slide job there out of the machine of Kaltenbach. Shuts the door in the face of Nolan Hodgson. Oh, a little bit 3 wide there. That almost got nervy for a second.
That's right. It's a good way to put it. Very good way to put it. Right now, Rainey Lewis was briefly down below the line, down on the apron. Going to stay back above this time, though. Timothy Rainey Lewis there in the 33 car, or in the 87, excuse me.
Rainey Lewis is one that we've just now really started to see here in the top split races. Put together a really stellar run last week at Phoenix. Interested to see if he's able to keep it up here at Vegas.
That's a good possibility. But right now, this early race, what is the strategy for this? You get 134 laps. So if you're someone like Roger Pierce, Keegan, what do you think? If you're Roger Pierce at this point, what is your strategy?
Yeah, right now I think, and this kind of goes for a lot of these drivers, you want to try and set this car up beautifully on the white line and just be very soft and easy with your inputs, especially as we kind of start to see guys kind of be calm here early on and get down and ride in the line. We should be expecting a long green flag run coming soon. So right now the main goal is just to keep the tires on and keep the tires cool and save that little extra bit for later on in the run. And for Roger right now, he just needs to kind of control the field. He's got the advantage of being able to save those tires and putting everybody else in some dirty air, which will hurt the tires a little bit more. But with everybody else being in dirty air, he's going to be able to kind of control the field and maybe even back the pace down a little bit more, right? Because Kaltenbach is going to feel a little arrow push behind him as you can see him trying to peek out to the outside. He gets some clean air on the nose to get that car to rotate as he challenges Roger Pierce for the lead.
Yeah, I like the move from Kaltenbach, running the middle lane here through 1 and 2, but I feel like it's kind of a wasted opportunity running up there in 1 and 2 with 3 and 4. Watch this. He's going to tee it up here in that outside lane, and look at the momentum he's going to get down the front straightaway. And you get this, you do this right now, it's a minimal gain because everybody's got so much grip. You can run the bottom without really bogging the engine too much. But once you start to get these tires heated up and worn in a little bit, around lap 15 or so, you run that middle lane and, take that dive down underneath trying to stay in the clean air. And the speed that you get down the front straightaway feels like you found an extra gear in the car.
It's going to be interesting to see as well how Kaltenbach makes his pass, right? He's got the advantage of getting the clean air on the outside groove. If Roger's going to move up and protect that lane on the outside, it's going to make the pass really, really difficult because being in the bottom, you're not going to have as much air. You're obviously not going to have as much turn with Pierce sitting on your door. So it's going to be very tough for Kaltenbach to work the bottom to get around him. So it's going to be interesting to see how he can use the top to maneuver around Pierce to get the lead and most importantly, get that clean air to control the field.
Also, coming up there to try and throw a block on Kaltenbach might end up poorly for Roger, too, though. You got to remember, he's the first car on track. He's got the clean air to the nose, which means he has the best turn into the corners, into the corners, center, exit. At the same time, as we look at Big Chungus ripping the fence here, picking up a couple spots. But at the same time, if Kaltenbach gets up to that back bumper into 3 and 4, with all that extra front downforce, it could absolutely send that 27 machine spinning down into the grass if he's not braced for it.
And up here, Kaltenbach is in a duo battle right now. A duel, between him and Roger Pierce. Between the two of them, Nolan Hodgson is a little ways back, and then a little ways back from Hodgson, we've got Rainey Lewis and Zach Range side by side. Ooh, Range and Lewis almost door to door there, almost able to exchange high fives through the space between their cars, but not quite now. Range riding the middle, ripping it as best he can. Down on the inside, Rainey Lewis is falling back a little bit, losing a little bit of that speed, and it looks like Dylan Basin is going to be able to make the pass here in the 84, potentially on the 87. We'll find out here, coming down through 3-4, looking for the restart zone. Let's see if he makes the pass. He does. Basin's got it.
Now to the back bumper of Zach Range, picking up to the outside, tries to throw a little bit of side draft. Here comes Basin now, cutting back down to the bottom into 1 and 2, trying to make Range use different lanes here. And he played him there. Range was, committed to the bottom the last couple laps. He saw Basin go to the top. He tried to block the run, and, mirror driving, sometimes you'll step on your own foot if you try it a little too hard through 3 and 4, though. Range going to use the outside line momentum to pull ahead down the front straightaway. Now here comes Campbell diving to the bottom.
And I want to see here, I want to keep an eye out on Daniel Nanny, especially as well as Basin. They both dropped about 5 to 6 spots. And I wonder if that is going to be a plan to keep the tires cool on this thing for the long run. I know the Ryko cars, we always see a lot of strength in those cars on the long run. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see if the car is just kind of struggling on the short run or if it's kind of more of a plan type thing to keep the tires cool as they move forward. And especially with Pettis, too. Pettis is another one that's lost a little bit since the beginning.
One thing that I like that I've seen this year, too, those Ryko cars, they have absolutely walked away with it this season. So we see a battle for the lead right now up to the outside. Here comes Kaltenbach using the outside line momentum to try and pull him past the 27 machine of Roger Pierce down the Nellis straight. Bit of a side draft there from the 27 machine, but Kaltenbach still with the advantage coming into 3 and 4. But this is going to be a hard pass here because Roger's going to give it all he's got. He wants to keep that clean air as long as possible. It's not going to fall back in traffic with the bottom line through 3 and 4 not working in the favor of Roger Pierce, and now Kaltenbach, your race leader.
It's going to be interesting to see with Kaltenbach here, how much has he been saving compared to Pierce, right? He's been running up in the middle longer than Pierce has. He's been, Pierce has been painting the line on the bottom. So did Kaltenbach tear up some stuff trying to get that position, or was that a plan of his saving? Did he save tires well enough to be able to control and maintain this lead as we continue moving forward?
Well, I was saying a little bit earlier there, before we had that battle start to kick off, is, in seasons past, it seemed like Ryko has been the one and only. And this year, I've noticed a lot more parity in the field than what I've seen the last 2 seasons I've been up here in the booth. Because even though the results haven't shown, it seems like just about all these shops are right about in the same ballpark this year, which is a huge change of pace from, last year and especially 2024. So I feel like the field's getting a little bit closer here. This comes down to driver at that point. Look at Big Chungus moving right now.
How is Big Chungus doing there? How is that? Was it 74? 75. How is 75 doing? It looks like right now, Hodgson
And Solis is back up to P4 right now. He started a little bit further in the field. Look at that view.
Wow, it's majestic. Just majestic.
I'm
You'll
now
love to
officially
see it.
a Jose Solis Jr. fan. Yep, March 13th.
Mhm.
Happy Friday 13th, everybody, by the way.
Yeah. If you celebrate.
Another thing that we need to keep our eye on here for everybody tuning in at home, Nolan Hodgson was just running third a few minutes ago. He has dropped back about 5 spots. It just kind of shows the power of the outside lane. There was a bunch of guys up on the line on the top side. He was the only one on the bottom, and they were able just to roll right around him. So, that's kind of making me lead to think that it's going to be time to start moving up. As you see, some guys are starting to move up to the middle
Big
and top
move
lane.
for the lead. Roger Pierce. You were talking about the top lane. Pierce has been run up against the fence here and just flew by the 37 machine of Kaltenbach. Roger Pierce running the fence through 3 and 4 again as we get a look at it, and he just shifted up to the top here about a lap or so ago. Got a great run out of 3 and 4. Comes down to 1-2 and just lips it around the top right on that second seam and lights out for the 27 machine. He's gone.
Wow. Yeah.
That's the thing I
27
love.
machine's not looking good.
He's looking great right now. That's the thing I love about this track. It's preferred to be down there in the bottom line, but at different points in the run, it's situational. I was explaining to my buddy Curtis last night because he's running in a second split. But the thing is, like, lap to lap, it feels like you're just constantly searching for grip here, constantly looking, and there comes a point in the middle of the run where you just got to chase it and figure out where the car's going to be best, because at some point, that bottom line, it's going to dry up for you. You're not going to be able to pass anybody, and you got to find a way to get past these cars, especially with the dirty air being so strong. And just like a dirt track, it's just constantly changing here. We're going to get a caution at some point, and all that grip that they put down the bottom line, it's going to get washed right off the track here under the yellow. And then, you're going to see people locked down to the inside lane. The middle lane will be the slick lane. The top will be terrible. It's constantly evolving at this place, and that's what I've always loved about Las Vegas.
And how about a shout out as well to Zach Range? I know he's in a heated battle here with Solis for third. But Zach Range, he was a player last year in the scene, and he's having a strong night so far.
Oh yeah, Range putting together a really good performance as the battle for the lead starts to heat up again. Kaltenbach almost got to the door of the 27. Roger Pierce had to check up though to avoid getting into the Gossett Bus Alliance Camry, and falls back to P2, but he's hunting them. And Kaltenbach showing impressive speed, especially for the 37 car in the split tonight.
Up here, looking at where things are. Things have sort of settled a little bit, but we still have a lot of two-eyed racing going on as the cars go around. The funny thing is the two-eyeds will happen during the turns and then resolve pretty quickly. We've seen some two-eyed racing, but it's never been that prolonged. The only thing that I'm seeing right now, though, in terms of that situation, is if we look back a little ways, we do see that Paul Hill and Mr. Channing Ballou are side by side for 19th and 20th place, so a little ways back in the back.
Keep an eye there on Joseph Causey as well. He's worked his way up to 22nd. He started further back from that, and he had a pretty solid run last night in the OB Builders Cup Series. So we'll see if we can kind of translate that speed here today. I know it's different weather, I'm sure, probably, and a little bit of a different handling, but same principles. So no surprise to see him moving forward early, and definitely going to be excited to see if he can continue moving forward and score a solid finish tonight.
Yeah, it was impressive. Third place finish from last night too. 2 podiums in a week in the OB Builders Cup Series for Joseph Causey, and he is guaranteed the one with the least amount of track time, as we now right on board with the 88 machine of Tommy Gossett. And here's the Tommy Gossett paint update. Red Bull stickers on the front. He's got Tootsies on the side for Dolly Parton, and obviously the Ryko sticker on the hood of the Gossett Bus Lines Toyota Camry. And definitely an interesting paint scheme, but Tommy, claiming Nashville as home, so good to see him staying on board with that, especially with Dolly Parton actually coming out of some pretty substantial health issues here recently.
I did not know that, but I'm glad that she's doing okay, hopefully.
Yeah, I saw it on the news today. At least that's what the old man
Good.
told me. So I'll take his word for it.
Fair enough. Yeah, 2026. Better not take Dolly. We need her.
We'll ride if she does. If they do.
Oh, we will. Oh, we will.
As we see Nolan Hodgson now working his way past the machine of Zach Range up to P4 for the new Ryko driver.
It's also interesting to see right now up front. You know, we're about 35 laps into the run. I know we had some yellows early on. But Sean Kaltenbach has not left Roger Pierce yet. He is still there and searching for a way around him. So clearly running up in the middle lane did not tear through his tires too much. Maybe we'll see that come into effect later. But he is still keeping the heat right on Roger right now.
Also, Roger's kind of set himself up, too. He's been running this top line more and more here, and he's been really aggressive with it. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe that advantage that Roger had built with the tires run the low lane, if he may have blew through that a little bit, bringing himself a little more equal with the 37 machine of Kaltenbach. Now, this is one of those nights where I really wish we had Benefiel in here just to see who's where on a long run pace.
Right now, that two-eyed situation is still going on, and you know what? I think you're onto something. I think it's going to stay that way for a while. Right now, this battle up at the front with Pierce and Kaltenbach right now.
Also, look at this. Well, Big Chungus has worked himself up to third place.
Oh,
Right
yeah?
behind him, we're starting to see some of the Victory 1 cars kind of form together in a line, and they're starting to move forward. So, you know, I think they were out at the back half of the top 10. Nolan was kind of up front at the beginning, but fell back a little bit. So now we're starting to see that long run pace get shown once again by the Ryko team.
I really like what I'm seeing, too, out of Nolan here. You know, this is a big test for him coming here to a mile and a half this week. And, you know, it's not been a lot of track time for anybody this week. There's been no A Open. And he's out here hanging with the best of them. Definitely looks like flipping over to Ryko in the offseason was a great career decision for Nolan Hodgson, because that's a really talented driver. And now he's, you know, got just that constant stream of information that Ken throws at his drivers. Good place for him to be.
It's great to see somebody, a really good person, you know, have great opportunities coming up through the sim. You know, I was teammates with Nolan for temporarily some time, and he's a really great driver. And, you know, when you get a big opportunity like this, it's easy for us drivers to let the pressure get to us and not capitalize on it. And he has certainly done the opposite. He has capitalized on opportunities, and whether he has issues, you know, getting wrecked later on in races, he is finishing and running well up front the whole race, and proving that that was a great investment by the Ryko team, and in his own time for developing himself to become to the level where he's at.
Yeah, I can't confirm. I think it was like 6 months into being on the sim, I got pulled over to the Nexus development team, and won a lot of races up front, and went to a new track a few weeks later, and I spent most of the week backwards and found myself off it just as quick as I was on it.
And Dylan Basin has also moved up to third, and so that's going to be interesting to see if he can kind of run down the leaders now. As you see, he's also moved up to the outside lane as well. And something to watch here as he gets closer. Right now, he's got a bunch of clean air on that nose. That car is rotating a lot better. As he gets closer, if the top lane is kind of his new home for the line on the racetrack, what's he going to do? Because he's going to have to move around to try and find some clean air, especially if Kaltenbach and Pierce are side by side.
See that battle for the lead heating up again, down to the bottom. Kaltenbach tries to make something happen, but the only way he's going to get past this 27 machine of Roger Pierce. And I hate to break the news over the air right now, because Roger's just going to use that and make it even more difficult for Kaltenbach. The only way he's going to be able to get by is if he's able to get the top line away from Roger somehow. Roger, a little bit of contact with the wall outside of turn 4 here. Not going to hold him up too bad, though. Ducks back down through the tri-oval, cuts the airflow off to the nose of 37 machine as it coming to 1-2. But here comes Kaltenbach trying to tee it up on the outside. And look at the pace right now. Third place Basin starting to really put the heat to these guys in front. You see him ripping the fence as well on the 84 machine. Oh, they're close. Door-to-door contact out turn 4. Pierce grabbing the right side door of the 37 machine of Kaltenbach as they come into 1-2, and this is really going to make it easier for second to get there. And man, Roger's holding him close.
He is. He is holding them close. Keep your friends close.
Oh, they touched down the back straightaway.
Yeah, a lot of movement. A lot of quick movement there out of Kaltenbach.
Also, another thing
Not going to work out for Roger. He got down a little too wide coming into 3. Here comes Basin now trying to make a move for the lead.
I believe we did miss. I don't know if it was a planned stop or not. It very well could have been, but we also, one of our front runners, Zach Range, came down pit road about 4-ish laps ago. So I don't know if it was a scheduled stop, but he came down. He has scored currently 2 laps down.
If he scored 2, then I don't think it was scheduled. You see Basin now trying to put quick work to Kaltenbach, trying to take the lead. Working the outside line here through 3 and 4. He's going to get a good run. Heavy contact with the outside wall. Doesn't slow him down a bit, though. I will say I do kind of miss when the walls at the tracks had more grip than the tires, because you see that wall slap from a lot of these guys every week. And you just, as a driver, you know, if your big chunk is sitting there in third, you really wish that car in front of you would get slowed down.
Sheldon, is that the paint scheme of the year so far?
Yeah, 100%.
It's up there, yeah.
Oh, it's close here through 3 and 4. Basin all over the back bumper, though, and tries to get him air loose, but makes himself tight instead. Here comes Jose Salas down to the bottom of the track to take over second. Now he's going to try for the lead. Down the back straightaway, Kaltenbach still with the lead over the 75 machine of Jose Salas. Jose Salas sends it in way hard into 3.
Whoa.
Trying to get him loose up against the fence now for the 75, and somehow that line's going to work. He's got the momentum and down to the bottom of the track here in the front straightaway, and by a nose, Salas leads lap 47.
And you see that move by Salas was perfect. He made it work, and there you go. He takes the air away. That was a great move. Kaltenbach's going to slide him over, but when he sent it into 3, you could see the back of Kaltenbach's car immediately become unstable. And even though he wasn't able to get next to him immediately because of that, he was able to kind of set it up for next to the corner to use the run to take the preferred line, and now he's going to fend off a charge on the bottom.
That was an incredible move by Jose Salas. But I mean, that's a high IQ move from somebody that's been on the sim for a long time. You know, I can remember seeing Jose Salas' name as far back as when I first started here on the sim, and you know, he's somebody that's just never tapered off, always has really good pace, and always willing to get aggressive if it's needed. And it pays off for him here early. 48 laps in, he's got the race lead, but now he's got Dylan Pettis breathing down his neck. And Pettis is also somebody that's not going to make it easy for somebody.
No siree as we cross the line again here. Right now, at the top of things, it's Pierce yet again. Actually, you know, Pierce is down in 7th place right now. Excuse me. On the top of things, we have Jose Salas, Dylan Pettis, and Sean Kaltenbach for your 1, 2, 3.
Also somebody that's crept his way into the top 10 here. Haven't really had much fanfare over him since the start of the race, but Malik Ray sitting 7th place now, just took over a spot from Roger Pierce. And that one machine is absolutely moving right now, setting a blistering pace, setting 36.49 across the stripe that last lap. Race leader ran a 6:58.
Keep an eye, too, on Robert Miller. I know he's kind of been quietly, you know, around the top 10. He's kind of just moved into the top 5, and he's been hanging right on Basin's bumper as Basin tries to work around Kaltenbach. So that outlier car has some speed this week, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can get around Kaltenbach. He might be able to make a charge here at one of our top 2 for maybe even the race lead. He's been running some quick times, and he's been just kind of hanging around here this whole race, basically.
Yeah, Robert Miller putting together a really strong run here in the 15 machine. A bit of a puff of smoke into 3 and 4 for these guys this go by.
And now for the driver, this becomes, for some of them this is miserable, and for some of them this is fun right now, right? We're on lap 51 of the race so far. You know, probably about 40 laps on the tires considering the yellows early on. Your car's either running really good right now or really, really bad. It's really, you know, one of the better handling cars, or it's starting to struggle and fall off. So it's going to be interesting to see whose car is going to start turning on, and we have a caution.
And that caution just saved Jose Salas. He got real loose when Pettis got to the back bumper, got himself up into the fence there, and was about to possibly lose the lead as they came into turn 3. As we look at the cause of caution, the machine of Timothy Rainey Lewis. Looks like the good luck stint not continuing this week for the 87 machine.
He was having such a good run, but fortunately it looks like it's cosmetic damage, so hopefully he can get it repaired and get back out there.
Yeah, good luck run can come to end, a screeching end in an instant though, and that might be the case here. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that it's not. we'll see if we can see Rennie Lewis out here for some more racing.
I think that's after the caution, bring it down to the apron. Was it just a slap against the wall?
I wonder if when he hit the wall, maybe there was some sort of damage and he was trying to get on the way and get on the apron, and he thought by stopping in the apron he was off the racetrack further enough to bring out a caution. I wonder if that was maybe what happened.
I'm thinking so. I don't think he wanted that yellow to come out. I think he was just trying to get off the track.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Just out
And
the
it
way.
looks interesting to look at the chat right now. Roger Pierce says it looks like he's got wheel damage. He said wheel damage is bad, so I wonder if that could be a factor of why Roger started moving backwards. We'll have to maybe hear more on that to see how bad it was. But that very well could have been why he maybe moved up the handling of the car.
Well, I think they
That's
need
true.
to start tightening the bolts on that 27 machine a little bit better, because I swear Roger sneezes and he's got wheel damage somehow this year.
That's true. That's true. And folks, we're going to go ahead and take a little break here on Grid Vision. And when we get back, we got more from beautiful virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So don't go anywhere. Stay on this channel.
Thank you. Sorry about this issues here with the microphone.
Hey folks, welcome back to Grid Vision. It's beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's a beautiful day for a race. And here we are, the Grid Vision boys, plus a brand new Grid Vision boy, Keegan Sabilo, up here in the booth with us. And we are covering today's race here, the NiS Top Split, the best of the best, the cream of the crop. Here goes the pace car. Here we go out in front. It is Jose Salas. It is Dylan Pettis. And the flag is waving. Let's go.
And it is a beautiful launch there for Big Chungus. Jose Salas Jr. gets through the gears quicker than the rest of the field. Colton back, a couple car lengths back, trying to close the advantage here through 1 and 2. But look who has worked into P3 here. Well, my pick to win everything tonight, that one machine of Nicholas Roman. As they are 3 wide behind him right now. Dylan Basin trying to lead that inside line. Big wiggle from the machine of Roman, though, into 3 and 4. A little bit of aero loose, a little bit of contact here up at the top of the track. Malik Ray shutting the door in the face of Pettis. Oh, it's Roger Pierce. He's going to drive through, and he's going to be texting us about every car he's passing, too. while he's in the process of making the pass.
It's a fair point. It's a very fair point.
Look at this. Malik Ray, NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series driver, making his appearance this week at Las Vegas and making his presence known early. Sitting there top 5 right now for the 13 machine. It's been a crawl through the field for him. Started tonight in 24th. It's like when the Cup Series guys used to come in and run an entire season of Busch Series or truck back in the day. When you get to go against those guys, you really learn a thing or two.
I can only imagine.
I mean, I learned how to drive Richmond trying to figure out how to beat Christian Challenger one year. Oh, and Malik slideways out of turn 4 and saves it without losing a beat.
Fingers crossed. He's one of my picks for the race. So we'll see how it goes.
Getting past Tommy Gossett here to take over the 8th spot. Old Mr. Excitement himself, James Houghton, working his way through the field. He's had his work cut out for him tonight, too. Coming up from 29th place, one of the biggest movers this evening. And looks like it's just going to keep going forward for the 41 machine.
And we are approaching the halfway mark of tonight's race. We're very close to it. About 65 laps, 68. That'll be about where we've hit the halfway point here. We're on lap 63 right now, though, of 134 folks going around. Nice to have you. Great to have you here on Twitch and on YouTube watching us. Or here on Twitch watching us, sorry.
I will say, too, for an NIS, these guys have done a pretty good job of taking care of each other. And, we haven't seen a whole lot of chaos just yet. I mean, I know I'm just letting the cat out of the bag here, and these guys are probably going to spend the next 30 laps flipping into the catch fence, but it's been a pretty clean show. I'm impressed. Good work, everybody. I mean, Keegan, is it really a weekend at Phoenix if you don't get a 10X from getting ARCA braked into the caution? Oh, man. To me, it feels like we get the most cautions, obviously, at Phoenix, Richmond, Martinsville, and then one that nobody ever thinks about, but always ends up being an absolute slugfest is Pocono. I don't think we did a single race last year here on Grid Vision at Pocono that had more than 2 laps of green flag racing.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. That was Dover, Darby. Yeah, that was a rough time. He was probably reaching for a Snickers bar, is what happened. You get a peek out of here. See Causey running the bottom line here through 3 and 4. Is that going to be Baldrige getting the air off the spoiler? Yes, it is. Big wiggle for the 88 machine. Locks it down, though. It looked like his normal pit entrance there for Causey, though, so he's pretty good about locking up those brakes when he needs to. A great save for the driver of the 88 machine. But he's probably... Oh, yeah, but he's I guarantee if he's... Whatever channel he's in right now, he's probably cussing everybody.
That would be ideal here. The podium is still anybody's game.
As we see a 3-car, potentially 4-car battle for second place starting to heat up. Nicholas Roman down to the inside of Pettis. Pettis trying to get past the machine of Kaltenbach. Pettis going to rip the fence here through 3 and 4. Try to get that momentum off the corner. It's going to work. Leaves Roman in his dust. Now if Roman going toe-to-toe with the Coke Series driver Malik Ray as we come into 1 and 2.
Looking at 1 and 2 here, just looking at some of these cars that started 2 wide, challenging each other with some 3 wides. Now we've got a lovely single file action going around and around and around, going 16 now.
Also,
Not
somebody
16,
somebody hit me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Roman also in pro at one point? I'm terrible about keeping up with this. No. Yeah, the 15 machine of Miller, heavy blink there in the tri-oval. And around off the nose into the wall for Miller. Heavy contact with the back straightaway fence. Look at the damage. Right front fender completely decimated on the 15 machine. I can promise you, if Roger Pierce had toe link damage from the light touch he had, that 15 is going to be hurting here because that is absolutely wheel damage. You see how it's pushed in on that right side. See down
Let's
the
see if
chat, somebody saying the 1 car is wiggling. Now the question is, which 1 car is it? Is it Roman or is it Malik Ray that you're referring to?
That's a good question. There is we got a plethora of 1 cars tonight, folks. So if you do, let's see who you pick.
I think that he might be talking about Malik Ray because I'm watching Malik Ray right now. You know, car very lurchy in the center of the corner, very loose, but I don't know if that's so much setup or it is just Malik Ray. I mean, he's always on the pedal at any point throughout the lap, trying to get the most out of the car that he possibly can. It seemingly works for him pretty well. He's made it this far after all.
And around they go. Look at that here. Let's break down the top 10 of tonight's race and see how things are going as we are halfway through the race here. Number 1, first place position right now is going to be Jose Solis Jr. Second place is Sean Kaltenbach. Third, Dylan Pettis. Fourth, Nicholas Roman. Fifth, Malik Ray. Sixth, Channing Bellew. Seventh, Dylan Basin. Eighth, Roger Miller. Eighth, Tommy Gossett. Ninth, Robert Miller. And 10th, Nolan Hodgson in your top 10 positions here.
You almost forgot Tommy Gossett there, but Tommy Gossett working himself up into the top 10 here in the last couple of laps, making big moves here side by side with the 15 machine of Miller into 1 and 2. A little bit of a hip check from Miller, which I will attribute to Gossett holding him wide into 1 and 2 as we got smoke in front of him, but everybody keeping it straight. I think Malik Ray just about bend it coming out of turn 2, but keeps it under him. And Gossett with the slide job on the 15 of Miller. And, just about parking off the nose of Nolan Hodgson there for Miller.
Here, down on the inside. We've got eyes on... You going?
Oh, we got caution. Car around.
Uh-oh.
Charles Wembley.
Yeah, you were saying he wanted that yellow as soon as possible. Well, he got it.
Rough break for Charles Wembley. Wembley always with a lot of great pace out of the 12 machine, but not a lot of luck to go with it. Look at what happened here. Oh, it's a wiggle in front of him. Goes up to the middle here to try and avoid the wreck. Gets tagged by the car on the outside, and around he goes. Locks it up, though. Keeps it straight. Oh, I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Spoke just a hair too soon there, buddy.
That was the 36 machine of JR Barbarema that got loose underneath Wembley there. Yeah, a lot of good moves. I mean, you know, it's a shame he got turned there, but, you know, Wembley avoided getting to the back of JR. JR would have absolutely wrecked if Wembley had stayed where he was. And keeps the car clean as we see Big Chungus coming down pit road. Jose Salas getting his 4 tires and fuel, leading the rest of the field. Look at Kaltenbach taking over that second box here, getting his service. Also, I think we're starting to get into that point too, where these guys might be able to make it on fuel if they start saving. Because it should be about 50 laps, isn't it? 65.
Very true. Very, very true. And the lights are off on the pace car now. I think you know what that means. It means that when we get back around to the front lines, it's going to be go time. And here we are, lap 81 out of 134. About 50 laps to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And it has been a gusty scorcher. If you were going to describe the situation in the air right now, that'd be a good way to describe it. It's been very gusty. The wind has definitely played a game here with some of these drivers, but it's all aero this week. A lot of these wrecks. And we're learning real quick how the Cup car is susceptible to Mother Nature.
These cars, both desperately temperature dependent as well as aero sensitive. Any curveballs get thrown at these Cup cars, man, it's night and day difference. You know, you have a track that's maybe 5 degrees colder than the race that you're currently in, and car drive entirely different.
Oh my God!
Oh, he almost got Chungus.
Yeah, Roman with a quick little jab to Solus. But Solus manages to keep it straight, gets back up on the banking. Roman's got to feel a little guilty after that one, I'm sure. That's not the kind of normal behavior that I expect from him on a restart.
It's just, you know, getting aggressive, trying to get into that box quicker, trying to get rolling quicker than everybody else. You know, the fun thing about being the leader on the restart means that you typically aren't always the first guy to get to the throttle, because that guy in second place, third place, they're gonna try and figure out when you're gonna restart themselves, and sometimes they might assist you. And right now for second place, a three-wide battle. Dylan Basin trying to squirt in the middle here, with Colton back to the outside, and down on the bottom of the track, we're looking at the 26 machine of Blue, and a great run out of that 26 machine of Blue here this week too. You know, we haven't normally talked about him, but he's really been putting together some good runs, as he is now side by side with the Ryko driver, Dylan Basin. But I think that outside line is going to prevail, because Basin has been bad fast up there all race long.
Let's see if that dream comes true. I would love to see a fight at the end between Jose Salas and just about anybody here. Right now, Salas is kind of walking away with it.
Salas always been pretty good here at Las Vegas. I've finished second a time or two to old Big Chunkus here. It's never shameful when you get beat by him, though. You know, there are those weeks that Jose Salas just really puts it all together, gets set up right, gets the drive right, and it works out for him. And you're seeing that tonight here in Las Vegas. We see Dylan Basin trying to hold on to second place. Blue, though, all over the back bumper here through the front straightaway. And look at this. Old Tommy Gossage himself has worked himself up into this top 5, sitting fourth place right now, trying desperately to find a way past the 26 of Blue. Shane Blue's really been putting together a good season. A lot of sneaky, fast runs for him. And it just seems like he's got something dialed out in that Premier Chevrolet.
All right, now, folks. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Also, look.
Yeah, you're go on.
Sorry about that. Look, he's hanging out just outside of the top 10 right now too, sitting there in 12th place, 26th machine of Johnny Baldridge. Had a lot of great pace last week at Phoenix, and here he is tonight at Las Vegas too. Looks like Johnny's making a step in the right direction this season, putting together some really good top 15, fringe top 10 performances. And I think it might be a matter of time before you start seeing him up there just mixing it up with some of the best of the best. It's always fun to see a longtime friend here running well, but up at the front of the pack, Jose Salas Jr. under fire because here comes Dylan Basin taking a look down to the bottom, now into 3 and 4. Basin going to send all the way down to the paint. Salas all the way up against the fence, and Salas tags the wall in the center 3 and 4. Basin going to try and take it, but he's still up there, almost clearing himself. A heavy contact with the outside wall for the 75 machine, but still able to hold the momentum. Here comes Salas back into 1. And I think they hurt Chungus with that hit, but he's going to hang on to it and tag the lead back away from Basin down the back straightaway. And 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Tommy Gossett. Putting together a really good drive here as he thinks about trying to find a way past Baloo and Nicholas Roman. And he's going to thread it down the middle here. I mean, of course he is. It's Malik Ray. That's what he does best. See him get to the back bumper, chanting Baloo, and a little bit of a wiggle off the nose. Daniel Nanny, and he saves it.
Wow. What a save
That car
there.
was gone.
What a save.
Starting in May.
Well, that's the thing. There's no such thing as too much track time, especially for these Coke Series drivers. You know, they need to get out there. They need to be able to measure, you know, what they have underneath them, what they need to change as a driver, what they might need to change on the car. And 100%, he's not running a pro caliber setup here tonight. There's no way. These guys keep that stuff, you know, locked away under vault and key until showtime when the Pro Series starts. But, you know, this is a good opportunity for him to get out here, get a little bit of track time, figure out what little bits that he may be missing, but also it's just a great opportunity to get out here and have some fun and, you know, maybe learn something. You know, you might find a lane that works here that you didn't think would work that you can use in the Pro Series race and, you know, absolutely fly with. As we got a caution car around in the back.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, it's Pettis.
Oh, no. Pettis. One of the names that we were happier to call toward the front of the field, the middle of the field there.
It's Pettis and O'Brien. Met O'Brien. Those two get together at a turn 2. See Pettis taking a peek down on the bottom here through 1 and 2. And O'Brien gets a better run up top. But watch this. Paul Hill comes up across the nose, takes the air off the nose of the 43 machine. O'Brien tags the fence, and Pettis has no idea any of this is going to happen and just gets ricocheted back into the inside wall. Luckily, able to barely graze the inside fence. The car will be all right. Just new set of tires and maybe a new set of drawers for Dylan Pettis.
Yeah, great thing for him. There's no damage on the car, but unfortunately, we're going to be under 35 laps to go when we go back racing. So that is definitely going to be it's definitely going to hurt his track position there for sure. It's going to make his job difficult to get back to the front. I definitely think it's going to be possible that he can show the speed in that Ryko car to get back up front, but it is not going to be an easy thing. So we're about to see Dylan Pettis' true talent be shown here.
Fortunately for him, though, with less than 40 laps remaining, just about the entire field is going to be chomping at the bit to try and get some track position.
That's right. It's going to be an aggressive run here, and we're going to see some of that aggression play out after we come back from our final commercial break here. With less than 40 laps to go, we're at Las Vegas on Grid Vision, and you're watching us live. Just stay tuned.
mute me.
Hey folks, we're back on Grid Vision with lap 101 out of 134 here from virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is the NiS Top Split coverage Friday night, and here we are covering it live with you. It has been an up and down race. It's been a lot of green during this race, but when it's not green, it's been pretty exciting too. Now there goes the pace car right now out in front. It's Nicholas Roman, it's Jose Solis, and they've got the jump there. This looks like a wreck situation here, potentially. The drivers seem a little nervous about it. Yep.
Well, that was bound to happen. Oh, no, Johnny Baldridge. That's a shame to see. Johnny was having such a strong night there. Hopefully that's going to be just, that doesn't look cosmetic. I think there's JR Borborama as well. That car is destroyed.
Oh, he's crab walking.
He's more on that right front tire, just hanging on by a tether right now. That's going to be a night ender for the 36 machine. It's such a shame. He was running pretty good earlier in the race, sitting in that top 15 bracket.
Oh, that's ugly. Oh, that's ugly. Let's go back in time, boys. Let's go back in time and watch how this happened again, though.
Yeah, Baloo just didn't give Roger Pierce an opportunity back on the track. There's nowhere Roger can go there. I mean, the guy gets underneath you, you kind of got to roll over, but then chaos unfolds behind him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just the product you're seeing. You know, we were kind of mentioning the long runs and keeping it clean. Well, now we're not going to be getting that 50-lap long run no matter what. So now the intensity is going to start to pick up. Track position is going to become more important because it's going to be hard to pass here, especially if everybody's got equal kind of grip and everybody's got a lot of it. So that's, I think, kind of a product of the race kind of starting to come down to an end, and it's going to be interesting to see if the drivers kind of learn from that, or if we're going to see the intensity continue to pick up.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. The intensity here usually starts to ramp up a little bit. We usually get that cautions breed cautions kind of situation, and we end up seeing more cautions come out once this kind of situation happens within the last 30 laps of a race. But you never know. So we're going to have to wait and see, but we could get lucky. That's all I'm going to say. We could get lucky.
Well, I'm wishing in one hand, and you know which one's getting full at this point.
But,
I've been around the NiS circuit since 2018, and I can count on maybe two hands the amount of races that ended without everybody calling each other a bunch of names and crashing out in chat.
You know, that's what makes it fun sometimes, Sheldon. Sometimes you just go in and look forward to seeing what happens, you know? But the best part is that it kind of happens mid-race, and then everybody afterwards will talk to each other and, like, shows great respect to each other. It's really weird how just drivers work sometimes.
It just depends on how bad you got hurt. You know, there's been races like the other night, for instance, you know, completely destroyed car, running 34th, 2 laps down the entire race because of damage. And get luckily back onto the lead lap with the late race cycle of chaos and, you know, bring her home 18th on a green, white checkered. Felt great. That felt like a win to me. But then, you know, there's other ones where, you know, you're up at the front of the pack, you lead every lap, you get dumped or wrecked by a lap car, and you just can't help yourself.
So it's going to be interesting to see now. Salas kind of lost that lead advantage. He lost the clean air from what he had. I don't believe he's got any damage from that wall slap earlier on, but it's going to be interesting to see how he can get that back, right? Because we've seen the speed in the 75 car, but you know, there also isn't much time. I mean, there's not very many cars he has to pass, but it's very tough cars that he has to pass. So, you know, especially if we keep getting yellows with 30 to go, that's going to make it difficult for him to be able to make it work. But we're going to see if the 75 can make his way back up to the front around Roman, Basin, and Gossett, which are some strong competitors.
Salas definitely. I think Salas certainly has the best car here this week. We've seen the pace out of the 75 from the drop of the rag at the start of the night. And his only problem is he's got 3 really, really talented drivers around him, and all 3 of them are some of the most aggressive that you will come across on the circuit, especially that 88 machine of Tommy Gossett, because he will hang on your quarter panel until you cry.
And Kaltenbach has worked his way back up. He kind of fell
Mhm.
back to about the 19th, 20th position, and he's already back up in contention here.
Roll
There's the
through
green
restart
flag.
zone and back underway here. Nicholas Roman charging to the start-finish line with the advantage. A car length up from Dylan Basin. Basin starting to close that, though, with the draft down in a 1 and 2. And Big Chunk is stuck on that outside line. Going to pedal it up here out of turn 2 if he doesn't want to lose a spot to Gossip. Here comes Gossip with a run.
That's right. Gossett with a very good run there. It's still Solis out in front, though. Gossett side by side with him. The two of them need to work together a little bit to get up to Basin and Roman. Roman just a little bit ahead right now of Basin, but Basin's got the speed. Wow, he's charging in high on the outside, trying to make the pass early on that shining fuchsia magenta car
into the
of,
wall for
Mr.
Basin.
Roman. Yeah, good wall bounce there.
Here's the question. We saw Roger Pierce with toe damage. Did Basin maybe get a touch of that as well? She sends it down to the bottom at 3 and 4, getting good drive off. I don't think so. Basin okay right now.
All right.
And don't look now, Malik Ray is on his way forward. You know, that Coke experience is coming in handy. He is just kind of lingering back there in the P5 position, so we'll see if he can use his short one to try and gain some more track position and continue to move forward to be a competitor for the win.
Malik Ray falling into the clutches here.
How about Brenson Hutt tonight, too? He's having a really good night. I mean, this is some stout competition. He had a mistake early on, but he has really rebounded. I mean, up inside the top 10 in 6th place right now, contending for 5th against a really solid field. Yeah, he's had that car moving. He's been running really good. I believe he was in the top 10 at the end of Wednesday night as well in the race that I did. So Brenson's had a lot of speed this week, and he was really fast at Phoenix as well. I was around him for a good bit last week and at the back half of the top 10. So huge shout out to him because he's been piecing together some good runs lately.
And Brenson, another driver, has been really working himself into the positive here since the new season has started. And tonight, carrying the torch for Team Conti's Sim Performance. So 98 machine looked pretty stout here in the closing laps as he dives down to the inside of Jose Salas Jr. through 1 and 2. And we got a caution. Oh, and a spin out
Way
of
in
turn
the back
2.
of the field.
Multiple cars involved, heavy hits. Paul Bergoli, the 12 machine, absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, that was way back in the pack.
You hate that for Paul. One of the nicest guys you'll come across here on the sim. See what happens here. Got Holzer up on the outside in the 17 machine. I think the 3 wide in front. Yeah, Paul Hill tags the 37 machine just a little bit. Lazy spin for the 37. Around he goes in front of the pack, and it's just a roadblock from there.
That's unfortunate to see for Kaltenbach. You know, he was having a really, really good car today. You know, obviously had a really strong run early on, fell backwards, worked his way back up. This was having an all-around great day, and you know, sometimes those hurt the worst when you had a really good car and just something happened and it took you out of it, and that's that kind of thing. So definitely kind of feel for him because he was showing a lot of speed today and was having a really good run. Really, really sucks to see this for him.
Yeah, it's a terrible break. Going back was so great tonight. Hopefully he gets a chance Sunday morning to, you know, capitalize on the pace in that 37 machine because that was an absolute hot rod. But here we are, getting to that 20 lap to go range, and Nicholas Roman's up here at the front, and you know, if he's got an opportunity, if he can smell a potential win, he kind of reminds me of a shark to blood. You can't get him out of the range.
Yeah, he's just way too focused on it. Like that frenzied shark who I heard they debunked how far they can actually smell blood in the water. But still, it's a good analogy.
Well, thanks. Just tearing apart my house brick by brick, Joe.
Just one by one, buddy. Every one you set up, I just tear it right back down.
You know, always have a friend that is a professional hater. It makes you better as a person. It makes them worse. That's the kind of toxic dynamic that we work so hard to nurture and grow here at Grid Vision. As our producer is yelling at me too at the same time. He's always yelling at me.
It's like we got ourselves that Dave Chappelle skit, the Professional Haters Convention. Sheldon Atkins, it is truly terrible to see you.
It's all a part of the experience, Sheldon.
In a world full of ditties, be 50 Cent. That's all I'm saying.
Hear, hear.
Seriously, I don't think anybody can take the title professional hater over 50 Cent, because that dude lives on it.
Yeah, hey, it works. Whatever works, man. But it looks like, hey, we're going to get things shored up here. I think we got one more lap to green. Is that about right?
Looks like it.
Yes, this is an interesting time for the yellow, right? Because we're going to be coming to a little over 21 to go to be exact, right? So there ain't going to be too much even concern anymore about saving tires at all. It's going to be all go to try and get the clean air. So we're going to probably see some drivers act fast. I would bet we'd almost see 4 wide here within these first 2 laps. So we're going to see some guys start to try and move forward, especially those at the back. I believe, not sure exactly who, but I believe we did have some drivers pit. So we might see some new tires come up through the field as well if this thing's going to run green for the next 20 laps or so, which would be huge for those guys on new tires at the back, because it's going to allow their tires to come into play and to work and to be able to drive up and use that advantage.
Well, Keegan, all I can tell you is I feel like this caution right here was an appetizer, but an appetizer for what? Next yellow. Speaking of appetizers,
Here we go,
I can
folks.
use a bite to eat right now. I don't know about you guys. You hungry, Joe?
I'm starving, man. I'm starving.
What you hungry
Go
for,
some-
brother?
Give me some late night Mackies. That's what I'm going for right now.
Oh.
Give me a snack wrap.
Well, I
I
thought
don't
you
know
were
about
hungry
you guys,
for
but I'm
these.
hungry for a good finish.
Yeah, I'm hungry for
hungry
these
for-
guys to get into the restart zone. Take us in, Joe.
Yeah, you got it. Here we are in the restart zone. We are green yet again.
Just censor Joe on the restart call. It's great.
That's okay. That's okay. But yes, you guys are right. I'm hungry for a finish, and we're gonna get one here. Ooh, we almost didn't
4
have one,
wide.
though. Big
They're 1 and
slide.
Called that
2.
one.
That's wild. What a start. What a start here as Roman now has to fend off Gossett. The other 88 car here dives down on the inside, makes the pass. Roman's going to let him have it.
Tommy Gossett trying to get the lead here. We haven't gotten to cover him winning an NIS yet this season. Trying his hardest, though, but here comes Roman fighting back. Ex-teammates up here running 1 and 2. Now around the top of the track. Here comes the 84 machine of Basin trying to make something happen here in the late stages. Down the back straightaway, Basin with the advantage into 3 and 4 with the advantage of the high lane. But they are still 3 wide fighting for this win.
I spoke too soon, though. Roman was definitely not done fighting, and here he is. Basin now trying to thread the needle anywhere that he can put that Camry. If he can, he's into the back
and
of
they're
Gossett.
wrecking.
We got wrecking in the back.
And they're still wrecking back there. Heavy contact with the outside wall, and I think Roman might have lost the lead before the yellow came out. No, Gossett backing out the throttle. Roman definitely the race leader. But is that Daniel Nanny that went around? Yes, it is. A 30 machine. He was running good earlier tonight.
He was.
Looks like gets up there. Car gets a little unstable up against the fence. 43 machine tries to thread the middle and just was not clear. Gets into the left rear quarter panel. And overcorrect there for the 30 machine of Nanny and heavy contact with that outside wall.
Well, that could have been a lot worse. So great awareness to everybody else there, and almost a great save by Nanny there. But I mean, that especially as he overcorrected back in the racetrack, that could have collected a lot more.
That was that second shot. That second bit of contact when the fenders lined up between him and the 8 machine was what shot him back up the hill. He had it saved there until that happened.
Fortunately, I think his damage is only cosmetic, so he should be able to get that fixed and try and rebound and still get a decent finish for him tonight. But I think to get back up to get the lead is going to be a hard thing to be able to do now at this point. It was the later part of the race we're in, but you never know. We're about to see a treat as he comes through the field.
As we watch Johnny Bowdridge crab walking around here, still heavy damage to the Team Conti Chevrolet. But gonna get himself a lap back. So looks like he's in position for the lucky dog. Or the free pass. No, it's still the lucky dog. I don't care.
And So we crossed the line. I think that's going to be... Let's see what the pace car has to say about that.
Tell you what, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm full of Crown Roll and peanut butter and jellies, and I'm itching to get this thing back underway.
What a mixture. I've got 8-hour-old coffee.
Hey, there you go. Is that the hairy coffee? Like, is it growing a film yet?
Not yet. 8 hours old, not 8 days old.
No free penicillin for Joe.
No free penicillin? Oh my God. Ugh. 202. All right. Extra large McCafe coffee. Hey, let's go to McDonald's.
Look at Mr. Money over here. This fancy coffee.
Yeah, too good for auto drip like the rest of us.
Yep.
I love my drip coffee.
You know what? I guarantee you, this man buys his cat wet food.
Fancy feast. Yeah. Good enough for anybody to eat.
Yeah. That ain't a Meow Mix cat. Spoiled.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. As I believe now the lights are off, and we are going to be one more around before we get this thing kicked off with only 15 laps left on the old ticker there.
Another thing to think about here, right? So we're coming to 15 to go. I believe these guys have another set in pit road waiting for them. They have yet to take them. I don't believe, what I mean by that is I believe that we are going to see these guys finish out this event on these tires, at least the front runners. We might see some guys in the back, from the back that took some tires. They're going to kind of use them to work forward. But these guys up front really have kind of valued the track position over tires. So we're going to see if that's going to kind of work out for them here, if they're going to be able to hold it, and if we're going to see a charge from those guys who've taken tires on previous yellows.
We are at that point of the race where it's gonna kind of probably end up being a crap fest to finish it out, and you just don't want to be the guy that goes down, takes tires, and goes and restarts 22nd, and the entire field wrecks in front of you and takes you out. At this point, you've got what you got, and you just hope that the strategy pays off in your favor. As Nicholas Roman leading Tommy Gossett here through turn 4 into the restart. Joe.
You got it, my man. Here we go. The pace car is off. We're going to take this thing to the end if we can. Hell or high water. Right now, it's Roman, it's Gossett, it's Mason for your 1, 2, 3.
Oh, the outside line doesn't go.
Whoa, look at that spread.
And look at Malik Ray, the opportunist, first one to tuck out a line here into 1 and 2, shoving Salas in the middle. And here comes Roger Pierce trying to fight back. So he'll get a shot to redeem himself here tonight. Up to P4 for the 27 machine. Down the back straightaway, though. Currently, Roman leading the field, facing all over the back bumper into 3 and 4, and taking a peek to the inside on the race leader.
And that definitely hurt Salas there as well. Not only did that hurt Gossett, but Salas lost some track position because of that. It became a question of how is he going to get ahead of the front few in front. Now it's going to be down to can he pass 4 cars instead of 2. So his work has just become a lot more difficult here with 14 laps remaining.
You got it, my friend.
And Roman
still too wide.
Roman gets played there. Dylan Basin sending it down to the bottom of the track. Pulled a little bit of side drift coming into the corner. Takes the lead away from the 1 machine. Now if Roman's stuck back here in the dirty air, is he going to be able to mount another charge? And when does the next caution come out?
These are all excellent questions here. All excellent questions. 122 out of 134. 12 laps to go.
See, this is where to the back of the field is going to become interesting because now it's going to become a question of where do you go?
Heavy contact out
wide. So it's going to be interesting to see where some of these guys.
Oh, Jose Salas and Tommy Gossett get together. Gossett turning across his nose into 3.
That wasn't a receipt, was it? Or was that just physics? Because I saw him bounce off the wall into him. He came down off the wall into him, but then it looked like there was a little return.
See what happens here, but see the 75 machine up against the fence here. It's a little bit tight. Tags the wall, bounces off, tries to avoid hitting Tommy, just barely crowds him. And Tommy just turns back up across his nose.
Yeah, I think he sent him a little receipt.
We'll have to see
I
the
don't think there
onboard,
was
see
any
the,
reason. Yeah,
see the handwork of the 88 machine. Maybe he knocked them loose there, but
And unfortunately for Tom, whatever happened, we don't know really kind of what happened there with that. But he's the big loser on that one because he just lost all of his track position.
Yeah, that's not pretty, honestly. It does look like he went back up to give him a little door back, just a little bit of door back, and he miscalculated that, and it cost him everything.
yeah, I think he was trying to give him something back, but sometimes you end up having to eat those receipts pretty quick.
Yeah,
Unfortunate
yeah.
for both.
And we got the benefit of being up here in the booth, so we can speculate about this all we want, obviously.
Yeah,
but
he turned across about a lane and a half there to get to him.
Yeah, he did. He went up into him. Everyone was turning left. There was no one in front of him. There was no wreck. He just wanted to give him a little bit of a door back because he gave him a little. He felt that door when he came off the wall.
So unfortunately for Solace too, it seems like Solace did sustain some damage. He was able to get through probably in about P8 after that, but he is in pit road. So I am going to assume that he's thrown some tires on it and has some damage, which is really unfortunate for him because it's going to be hard to come back in 10 laps, and he had such a strong car tonight, leading him a good bit of laps early on, but it just seems like it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, this is one of those races that's going to replay through his head for a while. Rough break for Solace and Big Chungus, man. I was really hoping for old Chungus to get the job done tonight. Chubb's bunny.
And no surprise here, Roger Pierce is back inside the top 5 right when it matters. So after sustaining some early damage early on, he is back in contention for this, and he's right there. If he can kind of work that outside, he might be able to get that clean air here early on and be able to finish where he started. It's going to be interesting to see if he can pull it off. So hopefully you guys in the chat can let us know. Do you guys think he's going to be able to go around the top and get this lead back?
And old Tyler Best says he's got $10 on old Ears Pierce, so a lot of confidence there for Roger Pierce fans tonight.
I think Pierce is going to throw it. He's going to send it. That's what I want to. That's what I want to do. He's going to send it. I don't know what that's going to look like, but he's going to send it. No, he's not going to throw it. He's going to send it. I want to make sure that I say that absolutely. I want to say that specifically. He's going. Very big difference between throwing and sending there.
He might throw the kitchen sink at him to try and make something happen. That if there's any throwing there.
That's
fair. I mean, we're in a position right now where, based on a track position, I'm looking a little bit further back too. Houghton's starting to work his way into the mix. I mean, we could very well end up with the dream team of characters in the booth after the race with Roman, Pierce, and Houghton.
That'll be a fun mix.
You ready to do your first interview tonight, Keegan?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm always up for a good challenge. It's going to be fun, especially because I get to compete against a lot of these guys every week, so it's going to be fun to be able to talk to them about specifically what they've been feeling, not only tonight, but what they've felt this season.
You'll find out real quick what drivers like you and which ones don't, because I learned that last year.
Fortunately, I think my reputation's pretty good, but we'll find out here.
Absolutely.
You got it, boys. And there's the green flag for what might be the last time. We'll find out, though. Let's see how this launch goes here from Las Vegas.
Not a good start for Roman in the outside line. Here comes Pierce trying to make something happen. Tries to duck back down, but there's a car there. Here comes the 98 machine with a whole lot of speed. But now Channing Ballou trying to take a peek down to the inside for the race lead on Dylan Basin. Slides up the hill, though, grabs the door. The one machine, Malik Ray, now up to P3. And, Ballou gets loose in front. Barely, almost wrecks it, but saves it somehow.
Save.
That was incredible. Here comes Malik Ray to the bottom, though, to try and pick it off. And one car, it's slow and heavy damage in the middle of the pack there.
Whoa. Malik very unsettled right now. That car is not down on the ground. There we go. He finds it. The number one machine trying to stay ahead of everybody here. Channing Ballou right behind. But I thought for a second there that Malik was going to be the next one to self-spin or get a little air underneath the fender. But he's good, and he's holding on to that speed right now.
Malik is absolutely flying right now as he tries to close in on the race leader of Dylan Basin, and looks like he's doing it incrementally here, though. He's going to get a little bit more speed, though. He wants to make it happen because 7 laps to go last time across the stripe. The time is running out quick. Oh, and they're wrecking.
Oh, and they're wrecking in the back. That's going to probably bring us to the...
Oh.
That's going to bring us close to, if not directly on top of a green-white checkered situation.
A bad night gone worse for Pettis, for sure.
Yeah.
43 machine 2 gets caught in it. Let's see what happened here.
We haven't had many favorable situations to describe during this race for Pettis, unfortunately.
See the 8 machine at Bomar getting muscled up the hill there, up into the fence. Back down the track, heavy contact.
Well, I think that one was bound to happen. We've seen him about wrecked there on those last few laps about 4 different times. So I think we all kind of knew that was coming there, for sure.
Sorry, that was not Bomar. That was Junsa Lim in the 8 machine. Got stuffed up into the fence there by Ricky Heinen. And from there, it's just a 3-car tango. And everybody runs out of space.
So now we get some new players up front after that. You know, we seen outside not really get a good launch with Roman. We have some new players. Pierce also fell back as well. You know, look at Malik Ray has finally worked his way up into second. And also Justin Campbell. He's been having a really solid night and just kind of hanging around the top 10 quietly. He's kind of capitalizing on the chance to maybe take that Ryko machine up here and compete against another Ryko machine of Dylan Basin for what could be the win tonight at Las Vegas. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now we get some new players. What are their cars going to do now that they're getting up into this clean air? Where are they going to take the runs, right? So it's going to be fun to see. I know Brinson Hutt now also in the top 5 as well, so another positive, I guess, to add on to his day.
I'll tell you what. Basin's definitely got control of the race right now as we get ready to... We're getting into that point where we're probably going to get some green-white checkers, I'll be honest with us here. But how do you count out the long-standing Pro Series driver, Malik Ray? I mean, he's been... I feel like he's been in the Pro Series as long as I've been on iRacing.
He's going to have a solid shot, but I definitely think from what we've seen, I think we've seen Basin have the stronger car tonight. So it's going to come down to if Malik can use the car that he's got to capitalize on maybe, you know, putting some air or messing with the air with Basin to maybe get around him or running the top and get into his outside. So it's going to be fun to see how Malik can take the car that he has and see if he can compete against Basin.
If I know one thing about Malik Ray, it's going to be either checkers or wreckers for him. He'll either win this thing or bring home the steering wheel. They both mean the same. He's just out here to make a show and have some fun in the process. He has been bad fast tonight.
You got it, my man. And bad fast is the name of the game. We just mentioned Dylan Basin's got a hell of a car tonight. Very fast machine, and it's going to take every ounce of octane that Malik Ray can find in his engine to try to make that pass when it comes down to needing to make the pass, which is going to be as soon as this race gets back underway.
We're going to need to start being aware, too, a little bit watching the inside, right? We're watching guys that are going to peek to the outside to make it 3. Can Campbell get enough of a run on Basin into 1 where he can take it 3 and get to the bottom? That's going to be something we're going to start to see. We don't normally see that early on because it's a very aggressive move, but now patience is out the window. It's time to make the move to win the race if you're going for it. So will we see somebody try and capitalize on that and start taking after the 3-wide on the bottom up front to try and get the bottom lane and maybe be able to clear them out of 2 or at least have a solid shot of doing a slide job into 3 to get the clean air?
Up here at the front now. Ray, Basin. 4 to go. This is it, folks. Ooh, this is it. This could be the beginning or the end of something beautiful or something horrible. Let's find out.
It could be both.
It could be both. That's true. As the pace car slides off there, peels away. We're looking for the restart zone. Here we go. Any second now they're going to cross into it. And they have, bit of a rough launch there for Dylan Basin and Malik Ray.
Yeah, both getting help from the cars behind him. Malik Ray tries to get down to the bottom here into 1 and 2 on the door of the machine of Campbell. Look at Campbell, though, working his way into the mix here in the closing stages. Up to second place. He's been kind of mired in traffic all night.
Oh!
And big wreck again.
Roger Pierce.
Oh, Tommy Gossett again. Oh, hard hit for the 20.
Such a rough way to end the night for Roger Pierce. Was looking so good at the start. Got back up into the top 10. Looked like he could possibly make something happen. Meyer down here on the bottom.
Yeah.
See what happens here.
Look at this. What a scary spot to be in.
They're blocking bumpers on the outside. It just gets misaligned. Holzer slides down the track, shoots into the side of Roger Pierce, yanking Tommy Gossett up into the wall as well. That's a hard hit there for Gossett.
Yeah, and that's just honestly a tough product there of racing 3x3 for a win in Vegas, right? You know, you're doing everything you can. Obviously, it's a tight spot. It's a tough situation to be. Nobody's giving each other a lot of room, and just the slightest bobble can really mess things up there. And that's kind of what we've seen. Just the slightest movement, and that's all it took to cause some chaos there. So that's just kind of the product of hard racing there at the end, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. One little thing, you know, this is where it gets into it being a simulator, my friends. One tiny little nudge, one little pebble can create a ripple that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it results in the end of someone's race, unfortunately.
As a reminder, too, it doesn't matter how much tire you save because it's going to be a green-white checkered.
So it's going to be interesting to see here because Basin obviously did not get the launch he wanted. So I'm sure Malik's seen that he didn't get the launch that he wanted. Malik's probably planning on maybe trying to see if he can get down to the bottom underneath Basin. And Basin, I wonder if he's kind of going back through his head, going back in that restart, understanding, you know, if there's something he could do differently to maybe try and get that launch if there was a mistake somewhere, because he was definitely in a vulnerable spot. And Campbell had a shot. Basin was able to protect with a big block. But will Malik Ray be able to capitalize on maybe the same situation? And if it's an issue, will Basin be able to block it? I think that's going to be the big thing here, because if it happens again, Basin's got to be quick to try and protect that bottom, because the bottom has seemed to be key here down in, especially in the restart. Everybody's kind of getting up through the gears. The shortest distance is going to be better. So to get the clean air, you definitely want to be on the bottom heading into turn 1 to try and clear up out of turn 2 to get control of the race.
We've got at least one more time around here before we get things going. Green-white checkered attempt number 1 with 3 laps to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And folks, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate all of your support, all of your patronage here as you watch and enjoy this iRacing coverage that we bring you on Grid Vision. If you haven't, just go ahead and click that follow button for us. We'd really appreciate it. And remember, if you haven't yet used your Amazon Prime free subscription on Twitch, you can always throw that our way if you'd like. And the more we get in subscriptions, the better we can make our broadcast for you over time. And we are looking forward to, as you've seen, get already some better overviews and stuff. We're going to get even more nifty features for the broadcast as the weeks and months go on here. So please consider smashing that follow button or smashing that subscribe button and showing us some love up here in the booth.
This is the calm before the storm, everybody. We're about to see some interesting action, right? The nerves are at its highest. The pressure's high, but it's all risking it for the glory here. So we're going to see who's going to be standing on top, and hopefully maybe 2 short laps.
Hopefully. Here we go. At the front, it's Dylan Basin. It's Justin Campbell. Let's see. Here we go. Malik Ray moves up into second, passing Campbell. Much better launch for everybody here on this one.
Something 1 and 2.
So how aggressive
Taking
is Malik going to be? He needs to use the air here to his advantage to get around Basin quickly, because the longer he waits, the more Basin's going to be able to control this field.
He's going to be as aggressive as he needs to be as he works through 3 and 4 here for the next to last time. White flag waving in the air. Dylan Basin with the advantage, but Malik Ray hot on his heels. 3 wide behind him for third. A little bit of contact there. Down into 1 and 2. Basin, though, trying to lock up the bottom, trying to steal the air from Malik Ray. Malik Ray slides up the hill through 1 and 2, down the back straightaway for the final time. Basin with the advantage down to 3. No contest behind. Malik Ray can swing as hard as he can, but he's not going to be able to get there. Coming out turn 4, though, the one to roll the dice and win here tonight at Las Vegas is going to be the 84 machine of Dylan Basin.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Dylan Basin with no contest to cross that line after that restart. Only one green-white checkered attempt necessary, folks. Everybody wanted to make it home after that, and they finally tightened up enough to give us a finish. And Dylan Basin takes it all here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, with Malik Ray coming in a close second.
What a performance from Basin tonight. You know, he had a good car and he capitalized on it, right? He stayed up front all night. It might not have led a lot of laps early, but he just stayed in contention and he capitalized to get the track position. And, you know, he played a good, smart race. And, you know, here he is standing on top. So congratulations to Dylan Basin. What a performance.
Also good sportsmanship there, too. You saw coming on the cool-down lap, former Team Conti teammate there for Basin. Basin making the big switch over to Ryko here in the last season, I do believe. Coming up there, giving a little congratulatory bump to an old friend. And a well-earned win here for Dylan Basin. I mean, the dude has been putting together some great runs, has shown so much pace since he's gotten into the Ryko pipeline, and I don't think anybody can be upset about that win.
Looking good, Dylan Basin. The 84 parked at the line. And in a moment here, we'll pull up the race results and give it to you. Sheldon's super duper fast guy of the race. Well, that's Dylan Basin. 28.790 for the fastest overall lap of the race. And he was your race winner as well, leading 18 laps. Second place, Malik Ray. Third, Brenson Hunt. Fourth, Channing Ballou. Fifth, Justin Campbell. Sixth, Joseph Causey. Seventh, James Holzer. Eighth, Nicholas Broman. Ninth, Nolan Hodgson. And 10th, James Houghton.
Coming home in 11th place, going to be the 35 machine of Ricky Heinen over Nick Olson in 12th. 13th going to Zach Range, followed by Paul Hill in 14th. 15th goes to Yuma Yao, and following him in 16th is going to be Joe Zahinsky. 17th place going to Maggie McGuire with Dylan Pettis in 18th. 19th goes to Daniel Nanny, and rounding out the top 20 here tonight is going to be Matthew J. O'Brien. Keegan?
21st for all survivor on the night. Sean Kaltenbach, 22nd, showed such a good run. Unfortunately, get the finish he deserved. Jacob Harbert's 23rd. Jose Salas and Robert Miller, 24th, 25th. Both strong performances tonight. Incidents took them and put them further back. Johnny Baldridge, 26th, able to recover with a damaged race car. Charles Windley, 27th. Jun Soo Lim, 28th. Colby Wells, 29th. And Tommy Gossett running at the top 30. Roger Pierce, 31st, after a heartbreaking end to his night. James Bomar in 32nd. Johnny Dressler, 33rd. Paul Bergoli, 34th. Sean Anderson, 35th. J.R. Bogarama, 36th. And after his early trouble early on with an incident, Timothy Rainey Lewis will round out our 37-car field.
All right. And that is the 1 through 37 cars that ran through it here. And we've got our race winner here joining us up here in the booth. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let our guest do the interview today, because we have a guest up here in the booth. So I'm going to pass things over to Keegan Sabilo.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Joe. Well, yeah, congratulations, Dylan, first of all. I mean, you had a great car tonight. You were able to capitalize on it when the time was right. How was the race from your perspective tonight? Was it pretty chaotic or pretty laid back?
I mean, for me, myself, you know, up front, it was pretty clean and calm the whole time, but somewhere back there in Narnia, they were going at it, I guess. I mean, I've had to pee for the past 40 minutes, and these yellows did not help. Yeah, but pretty calm up front.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I think a big story this week, looking at all the NiS races, of something that we really don't see too often, was over 20-mile-per-hour winds. I think we've seen that for a lot of the time slots this week. Was there something special that you or your team was kind of doing to prepare for that, or were you kind of just taking what you had and making the most of it?
I mean, we knew about the wind. It's hard to really do much about it, because if you try to change the setup for one end of the track, it makes the other end of the track a lot harder to drive and whatnot. So you kind of have to manage what you have and drive through it. There's a lot of certain ways it can go through 3 and 4. That's where it hits you the most. To really combat that wind and not plow. And it's also a lot of, finding the grooves and whatnot. It feels like every lap you have to find a different groove that has grip.
For sure, definitely. Obviously you had a strong car here tonight. You've had a strong start to the season so far, with a lot of strong performances. It's only week 5. We got 31 more weeks left to go. What are kind of some of your goals heading in as we go throughout the season? And are there any racetracks coming up within the next month or so that you're really looking forward to heading to?
I'll be honest with you, I don't really know the schedule right now. Darlington should be pretty fun whenever that comes around. But yeah, NiS isn't primarily my main focus. The Road to Pro qualifying series is. I'm just doing this for fun. It's track time. I get to race with my teammates and try to pick up wins where I can. And I'm glad I got it tonight after that heartbreak at Phoenix last week.
Definitely, for sure. And, congratulations on the win tonight, Dylan. Last thing before we let you go for the night, is there anybody you would like to shout out tonight that made this night possible for you?
I just saw the guys at Ryko. As usual, they put in all the good work that we needed to get this thing where it needs to be. Multiple weeks in a row, we're competing for wins. So it's just... Can't say thanks enough to those guys and all of our sponsors. And thank you guys for putting the broadcast on for this race.
Awesome. Thank you, Dylan. Congratulations on your win tonight. I will pass it back to you, Joe.
All right. Thank you very much, Keegan. And that, I think, is going to bring things to a close here to our presentation from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And whew, all right. Once again, Las Vegas has proved to be a straight-up roller coaster. It's got ups, it's got downs, it's got long, easy sections in the middle, as we all know roller coasters have. Sheldon, how'd you like this one?
I mean, it was a classic Las Vegas race. It had some really good long green flag runs in the early stages and the mid stages of the event. A lot of comers and goers, some incredible tense battles up at the front of the pack and all the way throughout the field. And man, Vegas was great. I'm certainly looking forward to Darlington next week up here in the booth as well as on the track, though. It's going to be a lot of fun. How about you, Keegan?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it tonight. This was my first time getting to experience broadcasting, so it was really cool to be able to do that with you guys tonight. And, it's awesome to see from another perspective, right? We've seen a great race tonight, but normally, being inside behind the wheel one of these cars on Friday night. So it's really cool to see from a different perspective a lot of these guys that I compete with on a regular basis, and just getting to see some fun racing action and kind of have a more calm perspective of it for the night. And really enjoyed the race tonight, and definitely looking forward to continuing the season here as we go into Darlington next week. We got a lot of great racetracks coming up on the schedule, so excited to see how that's going to go. And I can't thank you guys enough for letting me come and join you guys tonight. It was a great time. I was able to learn a lot from not only watching them guys on the racetrack, but to learn a lot about just what you guys do. And to be honest, after that, I think it showed me and hopefully everybody else can kind of go along with this, how this isn't an easy job, for sure. And we're definitely really thankful for what you guys do and everybody at Grid Vision for putting this on a weekly basis, because it's not an easy job to do, and you guys continue to show up and put on quality broadcasts for us week in and week out. And we've seen a great show tonight, and I'm really excited to see what the rest of the season holds for not only myself, but for everybody.
Heck yeah. That's what we'd like to hear, my friend. Well, thank you, Keegan, for being up here in the booth with us. We really appreciate it. And we want to say thank you to NFS Payback and to Yuma for subbing. We really, really appreciate that. Love having your support here. Thanks again for everything you do, and we will promise to keep up the good work and to keep bringing you guys the best in iRacing coverage across the board here on Grid Vision. So I'm going to go ahead and say, from the entire Grid Vision team, that's all of us here up in the booth and that man down in the truck, we want to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. And for more information on how to get your league broadcast or supported by GridVision.live, that's us. Contact us on Facebook, Discord, or info@GridVision.live. Big special thank you goes out to Andrew Cardinal IV of Whiplash SimCams for the beautiful cameras used on all of Grid Vision's broadcasts. And hey, make sure to stay tuned here, folks. If you're on Twitch right now, stay tuned, because we're going to go raid another member of the iRacing community. We're going to show them some love. Congratulations to Dylan Vason on winning it all tonight from virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This has been Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Adkins, Keegan Sabilo, and Austin Derbyshire. And hey, we'll see you next time on the grid.